Hello everyone, Manny here, and in today's video, it's one of those, was it worth it? Videos in which I give you my honest opinions on airsoft products that I've actually purchased and used out in the field. For today's video, we're looking at KWA's EVE series. But before I start this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. And if you want or like to see the was it worth it videos, I have a playlist in my channel. With that being said, let us begin. So a little bit of context and background on how long I've been using the EVE 4. The EVE 4 was released in November of 2022, but prior to its actual release to the public, I was able to use it a little bit in a airsoft event known as Desert Fox. Now, I did do a few posts on it, but to be honest, I wasn't surprised about it. Now, for those who've been following me for a while, this will not determine on my decision for this video, being that those were prototypes and they weren't exactly right where they needed to be in order to perform the way they do today. With that being said, that is a little bit of history that I have with the EVE 4. Now let us go into the positives as well as the negatives to finally follow up with my decision on whether or not the EVE 4 was worth it. Now the EVE 4 or the EVE series of replicas do come with several positives. For the most part, one of the things that KWA had to emphasize at this time and period when the EVE was released was its outer body. The outer body compared to the QRF and Ronin series is made out of polymer, making it very lightweight. I do know from personal interactions with other people that have owned KWAs, that was one of the things that they would usually complain about or make a suggestion that it would be nice to have a body out of polymer or for it to be a lot lighter. Of course, for those of you who've known KWA for years, they usually try to bank on the fact that a lot of their replicas were realistic. One of those things was the actual weight mirrored that of an actual real life counterpart. And if it wasn't a real life counterpart, at least they tried to make it seem so with their QRF series. With that being said, this goes into the other positive, that of the price, because the body is made of mostly polymer. This also reduces the price of it. Currently, as making this video, it is around $250, and depending upon the website, might add or reduce the price of it. That being said, this is something good since this gives the ability for people to have an entry-level gun with the performance of a premium gun. Later on, I will mention this because even though it's a cheaper price, KWA didn't really sacrifice on its performance. The performance of the EVE series of replicas is that just like the Ronin series or the QRF series, just because the price or the material it's made of is a lot lighter or cheaper doesn't mean they sacrifice on performance. The EVE series still uses the 2.5 gearbox from KWA, or as it's known now, the 2.5 Plus, being that it is able to have a drop-in gate tighten into it, as well as it still has the features of ambidextrous controls, as well as the ability to change its FPS through its variable FPS system. This also gives it far more worth when it comes to the price in combination with the weight and the features it still holds. Now, those are the positives. What about the negatives? There isn't that many. It's mostly comes down to a single category or area, and that is a questionable design that KWA decided to go with. To point that obvious, the lower receiver and the pistol grip is one single part, making it impossible for you to change the pistol grip. This has been something that's been voiced out by people that I've met in person that have purchased an EVE or purchased a new polymer line of KWAs and find it very unpleasing that they can't change the angle of their pistol grip. Now that's a very limited number, but still, it's very odd being that KWA decided to market this towards more the competitive speedsoft community while still undertoning the affordability to the common consumer. Now, with that being said, doesn't seem so much of a negative, but to be honest, if you're gonna spend money on a replica, you kind of want to make it your own and kind of give it your own tone to what it means to you, and it's very limited with the Eve series or any of the polymer series of replicas that KWA has to offer. Now that's pretty much it for the negatives on it, which kind of leads me to the final portion on whether or not the KWA Eve series of replicas is worth it. So there you have it, guys. Those are the positives and negatives that I could find with KWA's Eve series of replicas. Now, do I believe if it's worth it or not? Well, I think it's worth it. I say this because even though KWA has some questionable designs from in-house, this shouldn't deter you from the bigger picture. It's lightweight and affordability doesn't mean that it's reduced its performance, which KWA was able to retain both promises, performance, and affordability. This entices the common consumer to be able to purchase a well-performing entry-level replica without having to pay $300, $400 for it. With that being said, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's not worth it? Do you even own one? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. This has been Manny, and until next time.
Sorry. Like a real girl right now.
Surprise.
Call sign's gonna be tampon.